All right, welcome back to the Twist Takes podcast, episode 17. The NHL and NBA playoffs have started. We're through the first one or two games of every series. And as well, the NFL draft is approaching us this Thursday. So we have a lot to recap, a lot to talk about. Hayden, how are you doing?
I'm fucking atrocious, buddy. Um, as everybody on here knows, I'm a Lakers and Angels fan. And last night it was probably a span of like 5 minutes. Both of these things happened. Um, Mike Trout strikes out with the bases loaded with two outs in the bottom of the ninth inning, down by 2 runs to lose. And then the Lakers blew a 22-point lead, and Jamal Murray decides to just drain the Kawhi Leonard type 2019 Raptors shot, step back in the corner over Anthony Davis. So that was not fun. I went to bed very, very mad. I will be honest.
Jokic's a dog. He's a
Dude,
dog.
Jokic is so annoying to watch play basketball. He's so good, but it's like you could tell he doesn't want to be there, and it's just like no fun to watch him. Like he's a great basketball player, don't get me wrong, and he deserves MVP again this year, but he is just not fun to watch.
I mean, Davis has been going crazy too. He's had two good games, right? He just dropped 32.
Yeah, I mean, what needs to happen though in that series is he needs to guard Jokic instead of fucking Rui. I don't know why the hell Ham keeps putting Rui on Jokic, but that's not
Well,
working.
well, I also thought that AD. Well, we're going to talk about NBA playoffs, so
Yeah,
we'll
we'll talk about that later.
save it.
Michael, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Cats up 1-0 in the series, and we're getting back at it tonight. Magic not looking so hot, unfortunately, but to be expected to have some growing pains with a young team. Um, Baseball Royals kind of got shellacked by the Orioles. They took one, but not really their best baseball in the world, and the pitching kind of faltered a little bit, which was to be expected, I guess. And then NFL Dolphins, not a whole lot going on there. So pretty
I
good.
saw the NHL posted today. Perfectly, it's a perfect percentage. If a team wins the first game, 69% of the time, they move on. I thought
Yes.
that's pretty nice.
All right. So
I
we
would
have
say they have nice chances to win.
mm, other than
Dante,
that, I went to the Braves game last night too, so that was pretty fun.
Dan, you hit your bet.
Yeah, the crowd was absolutely chirping Jazz Chisholm, and he was like talking back and spreading his butt cheeks at the fans in outfield. It was
Oh
actually
my.
hilarious. He uh he kind of leaned into it, and he was like just trash talking the fans and throwing them the finger, and it was just, I don't know, it was funny. He probably should have ignored it, but it made for good entertainment.
And Dante, how are you doing?
Doing good. You know what? We're gonna ignore the Rays and the Pacers and the Flyers and the Cowboys actually because all my teams are disappointing me. We're gonna talk about the great round of golf I just played. 3 greens in regulation out of my 8 par 4s that I played. It piped a couple 300-yard drives, was feeling good, and that's all that's important right now. Nothing else at all. Nothing
We
else is
just
disappointing me or making me feel like shit.
I just purchased my 4 iron. So
Beautiful.
the green and regs are gonna come soon for me next time we're out there.
Yeah, I figured out the draw. I was pumping them, fellas. It was a great round of golf. Great round.
All right, so let's get started right into the NHL. Well, actually, before we go into specifically the NHL playoffs, let's actually start with the NBA because I have a question. What was a worse collapse? The Lakers against the Nuggets or the Sixers against the Knicks?
Well, the Lakers collapse was against a better team, but I don't really know if I'd call the Sixers much of a collapse. I mean, I know they had a good chance to win at the end, but I mean, that game was really back and forth pretty much the entire
Mhm.
game.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just the way that the Sixers lost, I think is a lot worse than the way the Lakers lost. Because like when I was watching that game, watching the Nuggets, like you knew that they were going to come back. Like yes, it was a 20-point lead, maybe halfway through the third quarter, or at the start of it, but there was still something always inside me that said, oh, they'll, 2 10-point runs and they're back in this game. And that's exactly what they got. Well,
I'm in the disagreement train on that. I think that yes, the Knicks and Sixers game was back and forth, and yeah, it might have been a little bit disappointing in the way that the Sixers lost, and then you have the whole timeout fiasco that happened as well, which they didn't have possession of the ball, so how was he going to call a timeout? But whatever. But the Lakers, beyond the massive comeback, I agree with you. You could kind of feel it felt like they were going to come back and make it a game no matter what. But LeBron misses the wide open three, the D'Lo reversal on the foul call, the Jamal Murray just buzzer beater. I mean, that was not bad defense.
No, Anthony Davis was right in his face.
Yeah, so I mean, yes, I do agree that the Sixers one, it was like pretty tough, but the Sixers one was one turnover and an offensive rebound, which caused them to lose. Realistically, the Lakers blew the 20-point lead, had the reversal on the D'Lo foul call, which was a huge momentum swinger, by the way.
Yeah, and he got smacked in the head.
Yeah, and then the LeBron miss, and then the Jamal Murray with good defense on him. I feel like that combination far outweighs the Knicks Sixers game personally.
Yeah, I agree with Michael. Also, LeBron had a foul called on him for 2 free throws, also reversed.
oh, and but also the other one that he got called on was soft.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I forget
the
when
NBA
it
is
was,
soft. The NBA is soft.
but they've gotten better in this playoffs. Like, they've been playing
Yeah.
through it. And then when they called that one on LeBron, like the guy was I don't know who was driving. But like literally just LeBron kind of pushed him to the outside. The guy wasn't even trying to shoot yet. And they called it 2 foul shots. Because it brought him to the bonus.
But honestly, I gotta respect Michael Porter Jr. for being able to go out there and hoop after his one brother gets suspended indefinitely from the NBA for betting on his own unders, and then his youngest brother got put in jail for like 6 years for killing a woman in a drunk driving accident. So
Jesus.
He did.
So I didn't. So that's crazy. I mean, I'm not that educated on the NBA. I did not know that they were brothers.
yeah.
So have they yet to investigate if he was betting the under half assist for Porter at the beginning of the year?
So I actually got a pretty virally liked Instagram comment because on the video of Michael Porter Jr. like addressing the media about this after game 1, I was like, oh, I know he made a killing on Michael Don't Swing the Rock Porter Jr.'s under on assist every game. And I got like 1,000 likes, so that was fun.
That is a good one. That is actually a good one.
Because he does not pass. He catches the ball and he fakes the pass and just. And I don't know why anybody falls for his fake pass because he's not passing it. But
no, Michael Porter Jr. is just the YMCA hooper that just made it big.
Dude, imagine where he would have been drafted if he did not get hurt in college.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would have been top 5. I mean, he was the number 1 recruit.
First in that class.
Oh, for sure.
Well, I don't know. If I would redraft that class, I'd probably have him at like 2 because I think that was Tatum's year, and obviously you got to take Tatum 1.
No, bro, Markelle Fultz.
No, I'm wrong. Porter Jr.
Yeah.
He was in 18, so I don't even. Oh, that was Zion's.
No, that was 20.
That's like Luka and Trey. I mean, I'd still take him 1 over Ayton, but obviously Luka would go 1 in that draft. But
Trae Young should go 40th.
The Trae Young disrespect is a little blasphemous. I think he's really not that bad, bro.
He's just so inefficient.
His game is
I would like to see him on another team. Like hopefully
his talent is good, but his game is bad. Like he doesn't have a good game.
The Hawks should have traded DeJounte Murray to the Lakers when we were willing to overpay for him, and both teams would have been better because we wouldn't have Rui Bumamora starting every game for us. And also, we just need Jared Vanderbilt healthy so he can actually play some defense. That would be nice.
Yeah,
the Hawks need to trade Trae Young.
What?
D'Angelo Russell was going crazy though. I think didn't he have like 6 or 7 threes in the first half?
Yeah, and then he came out in the third quarter and had like 6 turnovers. So I don't care. Fucking bot.
Oh,
I love D'Lo though.
sounds like it.
I mean, he is a regular season merchant.
So that kind of
Yeah.
covers our talk on Lakers Nuggets. I mean, a little bit about the Cavs Magic. I thought we were saying that this was going to be a fun series to watch, and it is not. It is
Well,
probably
I think
the one series that I've yet to like actively watch an entire game of because it's just
the
not been
Magic
fun
have
to
just been
watch.
disappointing. They've just been. I mean,
I mean, did
the
I call that
defense.
or did I call that?
You said it was going to be the most fun series.
I said it would be fun to watch, but I think I said Cavs in 5.
Yeah, I mean, the Magic defense has been solid. It's just they're what have they scored? Have they even broken 90 in a game? I mean, they just can't score.
They've dropped 83 and 86. They're moving up. Maybe tomorrow night they'll get 89.
Yep. And then on game 4 when they get swept, they'll get 92.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, I did expect it to be a low scoring series, but if you're not even going to break 90, I mean, you have no chance at any game.
I would agree, especially in the NBA.
Yeah.
How good
I
your
mean,
defense-
geez, in college, if you drop 83 and 86, you're probably winning.
Well, that's true, but they play 8 more minutes a game in NBA
Also
and
true.
don't play defense.
They really needed Jonathan Isaac to come out and do something, and he's kind of just been invisible.
He just needs to stand for the national anthem when everybody else kneels again, and he'll be on his revenge arc.
No, I thought that was Isaac Okoro.
No, that was
No, that was Jonathan Isaac.
Oh.
He was the only dude that stood, so I had automatic respect for him for forever.
Well, it'd be
January
nice.
6th, Isaac.
Then we already mentioned the Knicks a little bit, but they're looking hot, not struggling against the Sixers. I think they've been down both games for a decent bit and then just have turned it on towards the end part of the game. Brunson looks great. Josh Hart is just dominating them for some reason. And
That's how I know you're a casual, because Josh Hart cooked this year.
really, well, I mean, I wasn't watching two basketball.
Yeah, it's Joe Embiid, I thought he'd be healthy enough to like really make a difference. He's been solid when he's been on the floor, but I feel like they take him out more than they usually do.
He's not fully healthy.
Yeah, he's just not. Maxi's been good. They've been getting nothing
Yeah,
from
but
the depth, really.
that's the thing. They have nothing. They have no one else other. And Michael talked about this the first time we were watching the Sixers. Like there is no one outside of those two people.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, if it is not-
Nick Batum'd us, but like 9 times out of 10, there is no Nick Batum around to just, I mean, screw us over. Like they have guys on their starting lineup that really should be like 7th, 8th, 9th men on like actual championship teams.
Yeah, the Knicks are just out depthing them. I mean, that's really that's kind of my takeaway from the series is everyone on the Knicks really has been playing pretty well, whereas the Sixers are too dependent on two people.
Either team's getting clapped in the second round, so
I mean,
By
I gotta
Milwaukee?
yes. Milwaukee sweeps both. If
I don't think
Giannis
I gotta give Isaiah Hartstein his flowers because I was calling him a culture vulture on our last podcast, and he was getting offensive boards like a true man in
I
that
would also take the Pacers in like 5 or 6 versus either of those teams if the Pacers end up winning.
That's just crazy. That's
Oh.
crazy.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, Halliburton has to actually do something first.
Dude, expecting him to be as good as he was in the first half of the season is just, it wasn't sustainable because he just was not very good in the second half after his injury.
Yeah, but he had 9 points.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough. I mean, when your game is to like score a lot of points, like that's pretty tough.
Whose game is to score? Do you mean the Pacers or
The Pacers.
Halliburton? Oh, I thought you meant specifically Halliburton. I was gonna say, I mean, he's 22 is really his cap. He's the facilitator. Siakam was awesome. He was the only one that really played
Yeah.
great then.
He was keeping pace with Lillard.
He did have
And
a
I think
good
he He ended up outscoring him because Lillard didn't drop a single bucket after the second half.
Yeah, tell him about that.
First half.
Tell him about
Bro
that.
was
Dude.
on pace for 70 points and then just
Yeah.
didn't
So
do anything.
we took him when he was at 8 buckets, I think. So we've been doing me and Michael, we're now betting again together. We've been taking the live field goal lines. Like we did it with Anthony Edwards one game, and it banked by like 3 or 4 buckets. So when Damian Lillard was going off and had 19 in the first quarter, he was at 8 buckets, and the line was 12 and a half for the game. And I said, okay, I assume we are now 2 minutes, 3 minutes into the second quarter. He makes 5 more buckets. By the end of the second half, he was at 11, and the line was at 14 and a half at like minus 150. Does not score another bucket for the rest of the game.
Vegas.
Also, because also his line for points was 35.5.
And he ended
Yeah,
up,
Vegas made the call.
He had 35 and a half. That's crazy.
That's brutal. Yeah, I'm expecting a better showing from the Pacers in this game for sure. They're not going to get drilled in every game, but I do feel less confident now with the way that Lillard picked up the slack from Giannis being out. Doesn't make me feel good. That was kind of the whole premise of my pick, was that outside of the Mavericks, the Bucks are the team that's worse off without their star player, and they proved me to be wrong.
And then T-Wolves look great. They beat the Suns by 25. Biggest win so far in the playoffs. That's why I
Michael,
took.
any comment on your champion's performance so far?
Yeah, it was pretty rough, but I mean, I kind of figured Anthony Edwards was going to steal a game or two in the series, so we'll see how it plays out.
you know what? The Suns might have Kevin Durant, but the Timberwolves have Jade McDaniels.
I mean, they're 1A and 1B, in my opinion.
No, Nas
But
Reed,
Jaden
baby.
McDaniels being the
Nas
1A.
Reed.
Oh my God.
No, I'm talking about the Anthony Edwards like post game press conference.
Yeah, what did he call him? Old?
He was like, you know what? The Suns might have just traded for Kevin Durant, but let me tell you this: we got Jade McDaniels. He's like, and everybody's like, oh, interesting.
See, and that's why if anyone tells me, "Oh, you think you know more ball than someone in the league," I don't actually take what the people in the league say seriously. They're all just clowning half the time. I don't think they really mean what they say.
0.8% of the NBA who voted Paul Pierce as the GOAT.
Yeah, like there are actual professional basketball players who vote on that shit, and they're either just stupid or they're just joking around, and I think it's probably the latter.
Or they owe Paul Pierce a favor.
Yeah, I mean, I did agree with their vote of Rudy Gobert being the most overrated player in the NBA. I
He's
do like
extremely overrated.
Yeah,
Extremely.
I mean,
Clippers series. Clippers looked extremely good. Kyrie kind of balled in that game. Honestly, it was if Kyrie and Luka can get on the same page, it's going to be pretty scary. I think.
Kyrie should be the main ball handler on that team. Hate to say it, but
But they have the same problem as the Sixers. Outside of those two people, who's going to score? Like, can
Yeah,
they
who
beat
is
a
their
deep
big
Clippers
man?
team?
Tim Hardaway.
Is their big man?
no.
Derek Lively.
No, they
All right.
got Gafford. Currently, Gafford's their big man.
No, well, Derek Lively is better, but yeah.
They need to start playing Maxence Prosper. That's who they need to start playing.
They need to start
Marquette
playing
legend.
Dante Exum again after he dropped 13 threes versus the Lakers in one game this regular season.
Jesus. Yeah, that's right. Dante Exum going crazy. Yeah, I still obviously like the Clippers to at least win the Western Conference.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't understand why that series was basically even odds at the start. I really never thought the Mavericks had a chance. I mean, I could have seen, I guess I could still see the Mavericks sending it to like 6. I could see them winning 2. They got Luca, but I mean, these guys got perimeter defenders for days. I just don't see how Dallas is gonna be able to pull through.
Yeah, I don't. The only team that I think could beat the Clippers really is the Nuggets.
In the West, I assume you mean.
Yes, yes.
I do really think it could go anyway. I mean, like I said, I really could see any team coming out of the West except the Lakers at this point. I mean,
The Pelicans.
So
yeah,
I don't
you're
hate you can get the Clippers to win in either 6-5 or 4 still at plus 150. The Clippers minus 1.5 series handicap is plus 150.
Really?
God, I love
Yeah.
that. Holy.
Dante, put the tips in, buddy.
Put
Load
the
the
what?
tips into the Hard Rock.
Put the tips in?
Yeah, your
put your
valet.
tip in the Hard
Yeah,
Rock.
put your tip
Oh,
in the Hard
that
Rock.
that's right. I'm employed now. Sorry, it was so long I almost forgot.
Yeah, me too.
You're skipping work to go golfing today.
You mean
Yeah,
going after work?
No wonder brother was unemployed for so long.
Hey,
Do
I
I
do
get
good
Wednesdays
work.
off to golf?
Hey, I do good work, and they lowered the rates at Eastwood.
Oh, bang. I might go to Stony Mall. All right. What's the last series? Oh, Celtics Heat. Celtics in 4. I
Yeah,
think
who
that's
cares?
Yeah,
Very easily in 4.
and then I mean we briefly talked about the Bucks series, but I think if the Pacers have to steal tonight's game to even have a chance. If they don't
yeah. They,
steal
they go
tonight,
down
then it's
2-0.
over. It's
Yeah,
locked
they
up.
go down 2-0. Giannis will probably come back in a game or two after that. It's over.
Becomes a
They need to win.
series. It becomes a series when anybody wins a game on the road.
Mhm.
That's when it becomes a series, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I mean, in reality, losing game 1 sucks, but the expectation was probably 1-1 to go home. That was what realistically Pacer fans wanted. So if they could steal the game tonight, they're in the position that they want it to be.
And then actually the last one we didn't talk about was the Thunder versus Pelicans.
We don't need
First game was close, but I still don't think it's a close series. Um, like this is a young Thunder team that every game I think they'll get better.
I still think Thunder in 6. They're so young. I think they'll slip up a couple
I would
times.
say 5. I like Thunder in 5.
Like-
I like Pelicans to steal one at home.
like Josh Kiddey slipped up a couple of times.
Josh Kitty.
But then I forgot to bring it up when we were talking about the Lakers. Did you see that Anthony Davis pulled? I don't know what the kid's name was in college, but the one that was like, how did Yale get more rebounds than Baylor?
Oh,
Did he actually do that?
So he did something somewhat similar. So some reporter, like it was like the end of his I think he just ended his press conference early at the question. He was like, Anthony Davis, can you walk us through like what happened on that last play there? And he's like, Jamal Murray scored. And then he dropped the mic and walked out.
I mean, that was an insane shot because I agree with Anthony Davis when he says that he is disrespected on the Defensive Player of the Year voting every year. Because he quite frankly is. He's a great defender, and Jamal Murray just made a hell of a shot. I mean, you just got to tip your cap.
I feel like saying that about yourself is just so like I don't know.
His teammate is Dante. I mean,
Bear.
like I agree when LeBron says he's the best of all time, but that's not something you say about yourself. You know?
Yeah. Agree to disagree. That like if Michael Jordan came out and said that, even though I think he's the GOAT, I'd be like, bro.
That'd be like me sitting here on this podcast, be like, yeah, I know I'm by far the best looking of us 4 on here.
bro. I mean, we all know it. Just don't say it, bro.
You see, that's what I'm saying. You just don't say that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you got my shit on hard every time your screen pops up, buddy.
Like Carson Beck.
All right. Are we able to move on to hockey?
Yeah, buy good
Yep,
looking.
so then Peyton, just sit there and look pretty. Pretty easy for you. All right. Well, I'm just gonna go in order of what they are on Hard Rock. So Rangers versus Capitals. Other game just kicked off.
Gone.
This is like the Celtics Heat. Would be surprised if this goes 5.
Yeah. Explain
Yeah,
the NBA term, Celtics versus Heat.
yeah. This series is going to be so unbelievably boring. Even though Lindgren was awesome in the first period, they still got clapped. I mean, there's just Caps have no business being there.
I still like so I didn't take it today. I was thinking about taking it, but I think Igor's going to get one shutout in this series, so I like doing the Igor shutout with Caps or no Rangers -1.5. Because theoretically, how many games in the playoffs are going to end 1-0? Like the Rangers hopefully would win 2-0, 3-0. And it's usually about plus 1100 odds,
I
which I think is
agree, and I
pretty good.
like it while they're at home too. I don't think I would bet for a
Oh,
shutout.
now they're going to Capitals. I bet you.
Wait,
Well, it
can
says
we?
it's
Oh, go ahead. Finish.
it says it's locked right now. I want to see what the odds. Oh, you can't parlay live, I think. You can do next shot, next face-off winning team in period one, fourth face-off, Rangers -145.
Yes, I
Not as
have.
Oh
fun as
baby.
pitch speed.
Oh
Um,
baby.
can we talk about how Chris Kreider is the all-time leading goal scorer in New York Rangers history? Like, it's not like Messier or anything. Didn't they still have the same amount of rounds in when Messier was on the Rangers? Like, it's not.
Messier didn't play for the Rangers for that long.
Yeah, but you would think that they made the playoffs pretty much every year and that he would have scored more than 41 goals in his tenure there.
Let's see. I'm pulling up the stat news right now.
Washington
This
is
can't be right.
hitting on the Dodgers. We need.
It
Washington's
says
doing what?
They're just hitting a lot of balls, unfortunately.
um
Beautiful.
it says so Mark Messier played 70 games and had
Oh wow.
29 goals.
Yeah, I personally would have expected more games for Messier.
Chris Kreider's at 108.
He's even Kreider's still I think outpacing Messier.
Yeah, so 60
No,
he
not quite.
has
It's probably close.
30 and 70, 41 and 108, yeah. But that's I thought didn't he just get it? Because also this says that he has 41 goals. I thought it was 31 goals.
No, 41.
41. So he's ahead by 7 goals. Mark Messier is third.
Oh, all right. Well, regardless, series analysis is snooze fest. Rangers
Mhm.
are gonna destroy them, and yeah, it's gonna be an easy second round appearance for them.
All right, next series. Meow. Meow. The Cats against the Bolts. A great first game.
Great.
I don't want to be a bandwagon, but I love this jersey. I want to go to the offs. I want to go to the offs, the Stanley Cup finals. So
Yeah, I think that game one was honestly kind of boring for what I was expecting. It was a good game. Don't get me wrong. Like it was an entertaining game to watch, but where's the hatred?
I
Where's
agree.
the fighting?
I absolutely agree. But as a Panthers fan, I liked it because less physicality means less injuries and
yeah,
seeing
you're not gonna
how
have Aaron Ekblad
physical,
playing on a broken rib.
right, like seeing how physical things got last year, like I would so much rather have like a series like this where, we as in the Panthers can win on their skill alone and not like by basically just getting in other team's head and playing the art of war pretty much instead of hockey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I thought it was a little dull offensively, particularly not to the Panthers' fault, more really the Lightning's fault. They had like two different times where they went like 10 minutes without a shot at least. I think they didn't have a shot for the first 15 minutes. It was watching the Lightning try to produce offense was boring, but the Panthers looked good.
Bob looks
Reinhardt did
great.
his thing.
Bob looks great.
he
Bob
does
looks
look great.
phenomenal. Um,
Paul
And now I liked them in
Bobrovsky.
6 before. I now like them in 5. I just think they look good. Bob's rolling.
I also like them in five.
It's just so hard for me to picture a team winning 4 out of 5 against the Bolts. Like they're gonna. I like it in 6. Um, like I yeah I don't know. It's hard for me to see a team beat them 6 times or 4 times out
I'd
of 5.
rather I'd rather it be in 5 or 6 than a sweep, to be completely honest.
Yeah, Ryan, I agree, man. I agree. Something like something 2019 Lightning, something
That was
Bobrovsky
before
overtime.
that was before they had a Stanley Cup experience.
Bob.
Um, all right, next one. The Avalanche versus the Jets.
Oh
Um,
boy.
Gorgiev sucks. Gorgiev just flat out sucks at being a goalie.
Do you
Like
think the KHL would even take him at this point? I mean, I almost want to congratulate him on his early retirement because that game was so bad. I don't think I've ever seen a goalie in the
like
playoffs play
how
that
many
bad.
teams did they end up with? They only got 5 goals, right? Did they lose 6-5
No, it's
or no
7-6.
7-6? You score 6 goals against Hellenbuck, you got to win that 10 times out of 10. Like that's just
Yeah, it's
ugh.
pretty painful.
I don't think they'll score more than 4 again against them.
Yeah,
Like
that was their chance.
I mean, I just
Also,
think that.
oh, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Michael.
I was just gonna say that I think that Georgiev's performance just goes to show like how important it is to not only have a good goalie, but maybe just as important as having a good goalie is having a hot goalie,
mm,
like in the playoffs.
100%. Yeah, I thought the Avalanche outplayed the Jets for most of that game. Jets I will say they had good scoring chances and they have guys who can finish, but if you play that game 100 times, very few, maybe only 1 or 2 times, they score 7 goals. And the whiteout is absolutely
oh yeah.
electric. It's so beautiful to watch. It's why I always love rooting for Winnipeg in the playoffs because I could watch the whiteout all day.
Put that white out all over my face.
Moving on.
Next one, Predators versus Canucks. So Demko, how long is Demko out for? Because I saw he's out, but
They said he'd probably miss 1 or 2 games at
okay.
least.
I mean, I still don't hate the Smith. Um, I would take the Smith over Gorgiev.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
That was a gross game.
name pull up an AHL goalie randomizer. I will take that goalie over
uh,
Georgiev.
Florida Everblades Cam Johnson.
You know, I would equally take him to Alexander Georgiev.
At least he has playoff experience.
Yeah.
2-time Kelly Cup winner. Come on.
I
Um.
I think that game was disgusting. I really was hoping the Preds would pull it off, and they started off pretty well, and then it just kind of went downhill.
To get
Nashville
beat
was the
by
better
Dakota
team for two
Joshua.
periods. Yeah, he's him. He's good. Yeah, I thought the Preds were the better team for 2 periods, and um, 2 goals in 12 seconds will obviously kill any momentum you have. It's unfortunate. It's the way it goes sometimes. I still think this series goes to 7. It's gonna be fun.
uh, Next one, Boston Toronto. I mean, it's Boston Toronto, so you know it's going to be a good series, but this is the best series right now. Like I think Cats and Bolts could get there. Like yes, I love the high scoring 7-6 Winnipeg Avalanche, but like good old playoff hockey, this is the best series right now to watch. Um,
I would argue, as far as entertainment factor goes, the Hurricane series has them beat for the first 2 games. Definitely less of a disparity or more of a disparity between the 2 teams, but I mean the way that that game ended, I would say is has been a little bit more entertaining. I mean the Bruins just shellacked the Leafs in game 1. There wasn't really a whole lot of entertainment factor unless you just like to watch Steve Dangle have meltdowns. Uh,
Hold on. I don't watch the score. I only look at the deserve to win a meter. And the deserve to win a meter said that the Maple Leafs actually should have won that game. Shit, who started in net that game? Was it Olmark or Swayman? I don't even remember.
Swayman.
Swayman was in the first one, yeah. And then
Why did they switch goalies? Swayman was awesome in that game.
I hate
they
the I
kept
hate
saying that like, oh,
the
they don't want to make the same mistake as last year. Um, which I don't get
Well,
that.
their problem last year was that
Olmark started blowing games pretty much. I mean, not necessarily. It wasn't all his fault, but like he started playing bad and he had a few bad games. Like he started off good and they didn't take him out. Like I think you ride one of the goalies until maybe they don't have a good game and then you put in the other one, but like how often is that shit happening that happened last year? I mean, like let's be real.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Next one, the Vegas Golden Knights against the Dallas Stars. God, this team sucks. I
I
hate,
fucking hate
dude.
I
God,
hate the
the Knights.
Vegas Golden Knights.
The Vegas Golden ref strike again on that offside call that was just god awful.
Yeah,
I
I don't really know how you overturn. Like, listen, it was close, but I don't really understand how that gets overturned. I feel like 9 times out of 10, that's a stance.
no. I'm talking about the game was 4-3 and the refs called offsides on the saucer pass at the line that was clearly onside, and it
What the
was an
hell am
odd
I?
man rush in a 1 goal game and they called it offsides.
What the hell am I thinking about? Because I remember the first goal was a valid challenge. So I must be thinking of a different series.
no.
No,
There was one called off.
there
Yeah.
was one called off, but that's not what
But I thought
offside
I thought that was
is.
valid though. That I remember that one now. I'm thinking of something else.
Jake Ottinger, the Otter, whatever the fuck you want to call him, he put a performance out on the ice that was on par with Georgiev to start that game because
Yeah.
holy shit. I
Yeah,
mean,
but to be fair, 2 of the first 3 goals at least were power play goals. I mean, it's not.
yeah,
He wasn't getting shell. He wasn't getting, crushed even strength like Georgiev was. But
yeah, but you got to
it,
make saves in the playoffs. I mean, you can't be giving up 4 goals on 12 shots.
I agree. It's the same problem that he had a couple years or last
Sounds
year
like to me
too
he made
against
8
Vegas. Was that Peyton?
What'd you say, Peyton? We couldn't hear you.
I said it sounds like to me he made 8 saves.
He did make 8 saves. That's not very good. It's not
Eight
You
soccer.
said
saves is terrible.
Michael said he needs to make some saves in the playoffs, and I think
He
he's
Get
needs
going
to make
lawyer
more saves.
like
God,
you
now I
got
know how
lawyered
you
by a
all feel
future
with me
law
and my
student.
baseball chatter.
Ryan, Peyton's being ironic. You mean everything you say.
What was the comparisons that we were drawing where it's like if you have a hit, but it's a blocked shot, like does it count as a shot?
Yeah, it was stupid. We were just getting stupid over some Margs and Millers. No biggie.
Rangers tied it back 1-1. Bang. I was getting worried for a second. And then the last series, what's the last series? Because I went off a Hard Rock, so I missed it. Oh, Kings
Uh,
Oilers.
yeah.
Kings Oilers. Uh, McDavid's on pace for 100 assists.
Another snooze fest. The Oilers are gonna collapse. I don't think the Kings are good.
I mean, they have Talbot in net. Talbot ain't
Yeah.
stopping the Oilers.
No, he's not. I don't know. The Kings must absolutely despise the Oilers because they're just running into the same brick wall every year in the playoffs.
I think they really just need to rebuild. I guess they have a few young people, but like in this Pacific, I don't know how they're going to beat the Pacific with the
They need a
Oilers.
goalie.
Yeah. Um, I thought they had a young one that they're not using yet, though. I'm not thinking the Alaskan guy, whoever the Alaskan kid was.
Yeah,
Copley,
I can't.
Phoenix Copley. They had
Well,
another
I
one.
mean, I mean, they traded legend Cal Pedersen.
Yes. Who else
I'm
is on
kidding.
their team right now?
He's absolutely terrible.
Dodgers are
Yes, they do have
down one
Phoenix
nothing. By the
Copley.
way, Ryan.
What do you say?
Dodgers are down 1-0.
God damn it.
Still early.
Is it because C.J. Abrams is him?
No, surprisingly,
Damn.
it's because Paxton doesn't know how to pitch.
Hey, or Yankees are up though. Bye. All right, let's move. Well, now that we're talking about baseball, let's move into baseball. Anything that you boys want to bring up?
The Angels reek.
Yeah.
This last week they were a
They're
game.
almost as bad as the Twins.
Yeah, I know. And the problem is this time last week we were a game over 500.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think I want to talk about I want to talk about the Ellie De La Cruz and O'Neal Cruz comparisons at the beginning of the year and how that's looking for Pittsburgh fans now. I
Ellie
just
is
think
so much better.
it's not even close, and he's 4 years younger. I mean, Pittsburgh fans were trying to dunk on Ellie because he was having a rough start to the year with a ton of strikeouts. He's only proceeded to follow that up by being one of the most productive players in the sport, while O'Neal
It helps
Cruz
when you get to play
struggles.
the Angels.
Yes, and the Angels were honestly like usually walking a young guy 4 times in one game is not a good idea, but I honestly think they played it pretty well because he's one of those guys where when he's in a groove, he's almost impossible to stop.
No, that's not a good game plan. He's the fastest human on Earth.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed. Self-proclaimed.
Well, I mean, clearly it was the game plan because I have a hard time believing they accidentally walked him on all 4 of his plate appearances.
Brother, may I remind you, it was Patrick Sandoval pitching.
Did he get a bad call?
No, but he gave up 6 runs in the first inning, so that's why.
Oh, that'll do it then. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
honest
Go ahead.
question. Speaking of fastest person in the world, if you taught Tyreek Hill how to bunt and exclusively bunt, what would his on base percentage be?
Not good.
400.
No,
He's saying if you taught him how to bunt.
I don't care. A major league third base. I mean, what was Billy Hamilton's on base percentage?
Tyreek Hill, in my opinion, the reason I say that it's not because of his top speed, it's because of how quickly he gets to top speed.
Billy Hamilton was still. I mean, his sprint speed was like what 23 point something miles an hour. I mean, what's Tyreek's?
I'm not sure.
And Billy Hamilton played baseball his entire life.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I mean,
garbage. If you knew he was going to bunt every time, you would bring the third baseman in, the first baseman in, the second baseman in, and the shortstop in, and he's not getting a hit.
fair. I mean, I guess this is hypothetical on a fairly normal infield structure, but yes,
Okay, if you
obviously,
put him on, all right, how about this? If you put him on first base in today's day and age, every single time, how many stolen bases would he have? Every time
A
he
lot.
gets that?
A lot.
yeah, it's easy to steal bases in 2024.
Even if you knew he was going to steal every single
Yeah.
time.
Because you can only pick off twice before you can't do it again unless you get him out.
Yeah, because saying he's going to steal a base every at bat, that doesn't mean he's going to steal on the first pitch.
Right. You know Ellie De La Cruz is stealing every time he gets on base. You just don't know when.
Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is how piss poor the entire AL West is. It's getting kind of sad to watch.
They'll be fine. I mean, the Astros and the Rangers will be fine.
Yeah, the Mariner, I don't know who the hell is going to get the third wild card spot in the American League at this point. Because you got a feeling it's going to be Baltimore and Toronto are going to get 2 of them. Who's going to get the third? Cleveland or Kansas City? Whoever doesn't win that division.
Boston.
Their pitching's going to fall apart. There's no possible chance they maintain this level of pitching.
Well, people say that about the Rays every year, and they do.
There's a difference, and you know it.
What's the difference? They're all major league pitchers.
The difference is the Rays pitching lab is known and proven to work. Boston's pitching has been dog shit for 2 years now.
Yeah. How many World Series do the Rays have?
What does that have to do with their pitching being top 5 in ERA pretty much every year?
Well, I mean, every year of baseball is a new season, buddy.
Yes, but when the pitching staff is mostly the same and the coaching staff is mostly the same, you could put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, that they got better in the offseason?
Even still, dude, their pitching staff or their starting pitchers anyway, they have like a combined 1.2 ERA. No team ever has maintained that.
Dante, their ERA is that low because their defense makes so many errors and all the runs count as unearned.
That is true. Fat boy at third base does not help.
They've given up 32 unearned runs this year. That's 12 more than the second place team.
My God, that defense is terrible. I guess that's a fair point to their ERA. I I still don't think it's going to be Boston. I think it's going to be either Houston makes a comeback or whoever doesn't win the AL Central between Cleveland and Kansas City.
I don't know. I was kind of jonesing with the Red Sox. They're taking a jab at the Rays being going to be last in that division, probably.
That's true, but they would have been first in the AL West before yesterday.
But is Cleveland actually good? Like, yes, I know nothing about baseball, but they've already played 7 games against the A's.
Yeah, no,
Well,
that
the
they're
A's have actually played some solid ball this year, so
yes, but they've played the Guardians for 7 games
yeah. But I mean, you want to talk about a team that
and the Cardinals. I mean, they're not playing.
you mean your preseason NL Central champ?
Yes, I mean their hitting has been god awful. They went 9 games in a row without a home run.
My God, that's very sad. I honestly think Cleveland saw. I think they were kind of underrated coming into the year. I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs, but given the state of the American League right now, I still think it'll be the Astros. But I mean, if the Astros dig too deep of a hole, I'm not sure how they're going to get out of it.
The Astros do this every year, though.
Yeah, but this bad. I mean,
I mean,
and not to mention too,
they have 5 pitchers on the IL right now, starting
that
pitcher.
that was what I was going to say is,
They get
usually you
healthy, they'll
can,
be fine.
yeah, usually you can point to their star talent and their depth, be like, okay, this will turn around. But I can't really do that this year with their pitching staff. I don't see any star talent or depth that's currently healthy.
And if the Red Sox keep getting home runs from Wilyer Abreu, I mean, that's just not even fair.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's April. So many things can change in baseball between April and the end of September.
I just hope the Angels finally get like a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
Trade Taylor Ward, trade Miguel Sano, trade everybody that's not Neto, Shanuel, or Ohapi, or Detmers. He is untouchable, in my opinion.
But yeah, I wouldn't trade Detmers either. He belongs. He's finally he's yeah. But what would Sandoval fetch now?
I don't. There was rumors in the offseason that they were going to trade him to the Cardinals straight up for Nolan Gorman, and I would have been absolutely over the moon ecstatic about that.
Okay, if the Angels are the ones that turn that down, I think they need to take a serious look in the mirror.
No, I don't know if it was ever offered, but that was just like a rumor.
Fair. Well, anyways,
I don't know. That's probably like a decent prospect to like a team that thinks they can get him to stop being a whiny bitch.
Dante, I did end up cashing my division winners. It was still plus odds. The Twins ain't winning.
No, they're not. They're not going to win that division.
Oh, the Royals. If I cash out, I'm still up money.
Yeah, I figured that. I do think it's going to be the Royals that come away with the division. Now I've changed my mind from the Tigers. The Tigers have still looked good, and I still think they could make the playoffs, but their starting pitching has been good. But outside of Scooball, I haven't really been super impressed, and the hitting has been mediocre. The bullpen's been awesome, but the hitting's been mediocre before Mark Canha decided to open a can of whoop ass on the Rays yesterday.
That's why I like the Royals. I knew their pitching was going to be good, but their offense has been a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, it's been deep. It's been really deep.
Michael Garcia, I mean, just coming out and raking.
All right, does that wrap up our baseball talk?
Yeah, just about.
All right, so let's move over to what's taking place Thursday night. The draft is always exciting, but none of us have a really high pick. But the NFL draft is this Thursday. I'm hoping for a wide receiver, preferably Xavier Worthy.
If you could pronounce his name, that would be awesome.
Xavier Worthy.
There you go.
What did I say the first time? What did I say the first time?
Xavier Worth.
No, I said Worthy. It must have cut
out.
out.
Worthy.
Then it must have just
You
Um,
want him over
and then
80 Mitchell?
because then also I saw that even in the second round they said that the Bills might take Polk, which I wouldn't hate that for a second rounder if he falls there.
So you would rather have Worthy than 80 Mitchell
Yes.
or Troy Franklin?
Yes.
Mm.
No, Troy.
Yeah, I think it's deep. I like a lot of the receivers in that range. All three of those guys, I'd be happy if they not that the Cowboys are going to draft a receiver. They're
There's
going
a
to go
fourth
up
one you
on
didn't mention though, Dante. Lad.
No, do not no. Do not put Lad McConkey in
Dude,
the
they
same
were saying that they might
conversation.
draft him. I was like, I can't. I can't take it
Well,
if
you
we
need a
draft
Cole
him.
Beasley on your team.
We
So.
don't. That
Not
was
in
a
the
joke.
first round, you don't.
Why? He's like Cooper Cup.
If Lad McConkey ends up being half the player Cooper Cup is, I'll be surprised. I do not think that guy belongs anywhere near the conversation of Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, or Troy Franklin.
Xavier Worthy is a speed merchant.
But he can actually
But
run routes,
that's what
unlike John
Allen
Ross.
needs.
No, Allen needs a guy who has hands that work.
Like
Worthy-
A.D. Mitchell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he's better for the Bills than Xavier Worthy is. Xavier
I
Worthy.
mean,
AD Mitchell-
we have two tight ends and we have a decent receiving back. Like, I mean, I don't hate having a
But
deep threat with
I
speed
would
like
really
Worthy.
like to see Xavier Worthy on the Chiefs. That would be fun.
That would be fun. That'd be so fun. Dude, could you imagine him and Marquise Brown in the same offense, just from a speed perspective?
And Marquez Valdez-Scantling can absolutely fly.
Yeah, but he'd be the fourth receiver, assuming Rasheed Rice is playing, which is, I feel like,
Well,
the
he is
correct
also a
assumption.
speed demon.
Yeah, he is. He is a speed demon.
The Packers are actually getting a lot of buzz now about Cooper DeJean. I really don't. I want him.
No, the Toledo guy's better, but he'll never fall to their pick.
No, I would actually like the Packers to trade up to like 13 and take Kenyon Mitchell, because we do have the second most draft capital in the draft this year. So that would work out nicely, I think. But I think we'll probably go with something like Kool-Aid. I think Kool-Aid's been mocked to us quite a bit.
Yeah, I like
I'd
him.
like to see Brock Bowers. They keep saying Brock Bowers to the Jets. I think that's a great pick. I like to see
It's a
that
good
there.
fit.
Yeah.
More
But also
young
they said that the
people
Jets
off-
might trade down.
Interesting. Maybe they need more. I want. Here's what I want the Cowboys to do: trade down in the first round, pick up an extra pick, go with Jackson Powers, round one. I really like him. I think he's one of those interior offensive linemen that's a slam dunk pick. Not a lot going round one, but I think he's a stud. And go with Cooper Beebe in round two, because everyone loves Cooper Beebe, and I've seen him getting mocked to them quite a bit in round two. He's a monster. I don't know why he'd be going in the second round. And then round three, go with a running back. There should be some good ones available.
like Braylon Allen, maybe.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine at that point Brooks and Benson will be gone.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind Bucky Irving either.
Yeah. Or what's
Or
the
Esteem.
team from Udrick? Yeah, Estime.
Yeah, Udrick. He would actually probably be my top. I kind of forgot about him. He'd be my top target in the third round.
You know what's getting me absolutely bricked? People keep mocking Rasheen Ali to the Packers in the 6th round.
I saw someone mock him to the Cowboys in the 7th, but I don't think he gets there.
I don't think he does either. He's getting a lot of buzz now again. But for the Packers, I think I would like them to get. I think Kool-Aid's a good fit just because we lost our safety. Darnell Savage went to the Jaguars, so we need a starting safety. I mean, we got Xavier McKinney, so we need a second one. So give me Kool-Aid. And then second round, I would actually like Zach Frazier, which pains me to say because I absolutely hate WVU and anything WVU. But Zach Frazier is just so good. Can't pass up on a guy like that. especially because one of your super fans doesn't like the school you went to. That would probably be
Yeah.
a shitty explanation. But Michael, who do you like in the draft, buddy?
Um, I mean, for the Dolphins, I guess I'd like to see maybe some offensive line, maybe some defensive line to replace like Wilkins and um, just to provide some depth on that side of the ball. I haven't really, to be completely honest with you, I haven't really looked at too many mocks, so I'm not really sure like who's in position to fall to them.
Yeah.
But I would like to see maybe a tight end, maybe could be beneficial. I mean, I don't even know. I guess, oh man, who's their tight end even going to be this year?
Durham Smythe.
Yeah, I mean,
Mike
trying.
Probably. I'm
Yeah.
just guesstimating. So I mean, maybe they can move up for Bowers. I feel like if they want to get the final Infinity Stone for that offense, if you move up for a guy like Brock Bowers, I think that'll.
That would be pretty disgusting. But I would like a tight end more.
He is a tight end.
No. I'm saying I would like a tight end that's more like block focused, if anything. Like,
Yeah, Durham Smythe. You already have one.
I guess. But I just mean like a big body tight end, like
You
that
need
can,
you need the big dog Mercedes Lewis.
right, someone that can
Yeah,
throw
yeah,
the things
make a
around.
move for Mercedes Lewis and then draft Brock Bowers. You can run it. You can run as many 3 tight end sets as your heart desires.
And you know who would fit in good with the Dolphins because of run blocking and pass blocking capabilities? Alan Lazard.
I didn't realize he was such
Oh, yes,
a
he
menace
was
on the
he,
pass rush.
pretty much widely regarded as the best run blocking wide receiver in the NFL.
I can second that.
Yeah, he's insane.
Just here, Payne, I have a bet for you.
Okay.
You can get this is wild. You can get the Chicago Bears at plus odds, plus 100 to not make the playoffs.
Huh?
What the
They are
fuck?
minus 120 to make the playoffs.
I mean, I
Are you
guess that's because
serious?
the NFC North is so like mid.
On
But are
hard.
they though? I mean,
On Hard Rock. On Hard Rock.
the
Oh,
Packers
Brian,
and
I might be
Lions are
sending you some
both.
money, buddy.
I mean, yeah, the Packers and the Lions are
Plus
both good,
100.
but the Bears did get better, and they are going to have Caleb Williams.
And
I
the
mean,
Vikings suck.
but the Lions should win that division. I
I
mean,
don't think so.
Dude, the Packers could win that division. They
okay, either one. I mean,
yeah, either
So
one
I
of
don't
them.
understand this. They have the Packers at minus 190 to make it. The
Mhm.
Lions at minus 225 to make it.
They
Like,
must think
who
that
are they-
they're going to get the next wild card.
I mean,
Another
who-
way Hard Rock screws its
who
betters.
could you see? Who could you see getting the wild cards? I mean,
Not
probably
the
someone.
Cowboys.
Or the Lions.
They have the
Probably,
Cowboys at minus 225.
probably
What?
the Packers or
What?
the
No.
Lions. Probably the Cowboys or the Packers.
180.
Or
Okay.
sorry,
Cowboys and Eagles, you need.
the Cowboys or the Eagles. Yeah. And then I guess that last
49ers.
bet is up for interpretation. I
Well, the
mean,
49ers will win the division.
Yeah,
Seahawks. I
no.
kind of like the Cardinals if they can have Murray healthy the whole year.
Seahawks are plus 200 to make it.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the Falcons and the Falcons and the Bucks next year.
Falcons are
Yeah,
minus
I
300.
kind of like the Falcons with Cousins, honestly. I mean,
If they
Well-
draft right, they could actually be really solid.
yeah. I mean, I don't think they're winning Super Bowls or anything, but I mean, I would take them to make the playoffs before the Bears.
Yeah, and
And
I
the
still
Raiders
do like. I
should
still
also,
think the
Brian.
Buccaneers are going to be a solid team too, as long as Baker remains competent.
Yeah, but you just never know with him. That's the thing.
Yeah, that is the problem with the Buccaneers is you never know it. They definitely will not make it if he's subpar, but they still might not make it even if he does play well. So,
I just feel
so
like that's kind of
so how
crazy
many
odds.
how many quarterbacks do we think are going in the top 5?
3.
3.
3.
I like 4.
No.
You think
I
Jake
like
Who's the fifth? Who's the fifth pick?
the Chargers. I like them trading down for a quarterback needy team because the
that's
Giants are
true.
picking
That's
6th.
true. I do like them to trade down, maybe to like the Broncos, but I don't know. They just traded for fucking Zach Wilson.
So you think someone's going to
Yeah,
trade up to
exactly.
take JJ McCarthy?
Yes,
Yes.
it's crazy. I mean,
But I
he
just think
really needs to think Jim Harbaugh and give Jim Harbaugh a lot of money because that's
Yeah.
the only reason he's like, oh, he could start on half these NFL teams right now. Yeah, right, dude. Shut up.
I
But
would
I
way
just think that
rather.
I think it would be stupid to do that because once you get out of those top 3 guys, is anyone really like I understand going for your guy, but after we get outside of the top 3, like is it going to be worth it to trade up or just kind of wait and see what
I
happens?
I
Yeah, because like how many
That's
people
what I'm
are
saying.
picking? Yeah,
I'd rather
Broncos.
sit. I'd rather sit. If I'm at 13, I'd rather sit. Oh, the Giants took McCarthy at 6. Oh well, I get Bo Nix now. Like it's not.
Yeah,
It's
or
not
Penix.
that
Or
much of a
or
difference.
McDaniels.
or you say,
Well,
oh,
Daniels is going to be one of the.
yeah,
Yeah,
Jay
what,
Daniels is in
Ryan?
the top 3. Or you ride it with Zach Wilson for a year, who, by the way, was still a number 2 overall pick. And if he's shit, you have a top 3 pick in the next draft and can get like Quinn Ewers.
Right,
Thank
exactly.
you. I'm
Like
so glad you didn't say Shador Sanders.
if your guy
Shador
if
should
you're
not. He should not be a first round pick.
No,
if you're
Quinn Ewers
thinking
is
like if
him.
you're a team that needs a quarterback like the Broncos and you have like a lower pick, like why would you give up pieces to trade up for a guy when you could just maybe see how Zach Wilson works out
I'm
and
saying he's
then
still talented.
right, and
The
if it does
Vikings
end
are
up
a
being
different
shitty, then you
story,
get a
though.
better pick next year and you don't have to like
Yes,
trade
the
draft
Vikings need a
capital.
quarterback now.
Yeah, Michael, I 100% agree with that with the Broncos for sure. The Broncos makes perfect sense. The Vikings are going to be running out. I don't even know.
But
Nick
they saw
Mullins.
Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones.
Oh
Yeah,
my
like,
God.
What, Ryan?
that's what I want
Um,
the Cowboys to do. I
so
want
I
the
know
Cowboys to. Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
were we clowning me for saying Daniels?
Dude, Daniel's going top 3.
Okay. This guy has him going over Caleb Williams. Pete Prisco.
That's not happening. Tell that guy to fuck off.
It's Prisco.
Yeah.
Pete Prisco.
Yeah, I want the Cowboys to trade Dak and then ride out with Lance, and so that if Trey Lance sucks, then they could draft Quinn Ewers. That's what I want.
That's what I wanted the
really-
Packers to do a year before they did it, and it worked.
Yeah,
out.
I want Quinn Ewers to be a Cowboy so bad. I wanted it this year, and I still want it next year.
But my point is, if you're the Vikings, right? Like I know what you're saying. Like they're yeah, who are they going to have trotting out onto the field? But is that necessarily the worst thing in the world? Like having some guy that's going to be dog.
Yes, when you have
trotting
Justin Jefferson in a contract year, you need him to want to stay.
Yeah, Justin
I guess
Jefferson
that's a fair
saying bye
point.
bye if that happens.
But I mean, what could Justin Jefferson really like possibly want from them to trade up and get like the 4th best quarterback in the draft? I mean, do you think he would rather that or rather you just go out into the market and get someone?
Go out on the market. I mean, sure,
let's
maybe
go
they could
fucking
trade for
Pats
Dak.
bowl.
Yeah,
Sorry,
they could
Pats
trade
bowl.
for Dak. That'd be fun for them, I guess. I mean, I don't know what he'd fetch with his contract, and he only has 1 year left, and he's asking for like 60 mil. And if Jerry Jones gives Dak 60 mil, I might actually stop being a fan.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. But I will be so pissed off. Would be detrimental.
All right. Sorry. I was
Talk a lot more
getting
about-
I was getting Penix. I was getting Penix confused with Daniels. That's why I said that.
Oh, okay.
I like Penix more than McCarthy.
Yeah, me too.
I don't.
So I don't
think
hate
Penix
like
is getting a lot of hate personally, like for no reason. I mean, I don't know if hate is the right word, but like I think he's getting a lot. He's being mocked a lot lower than I feel like he could.
Who, Penix?
Well, because he fell
Yeah.
behind Bo Nix.
Yeah, and people are like, "Oh,
Yeah, but
he's
Bo
old.
Nix
Oh, he's
is old as shit, dude. He's been.
But
in
so
college
is Michael
for
Penix.
years. I guess so. Yeah, they've both been in college a long time.
And
That's the
Penix
thing.
has
That's
injury
why
history.
McCarthy will get picked over both of them. McCarthy's 20. Both those guys
That's
are like
true.
24.
That's true.
All right, does that wrap up our draft?
Yeah,
we
we'll
can
talk a
finish.
lot more about that next week.
Yeah, once it wraps up. We're no draft specialists.
Lightning are challenging the goal.
I just want to talk briefly about golf because, God damn it, Scotty Scheffler. I don't know if I can bet against him again. So the strat does not work against him. Payne, we should have listened to you. Quote Peyton, did it work against Scheffler? No, it did not. It was close, but it did not.
It was really not
Um,
close, though.
but I don't know if you all know. Well, I'm pretty sure none of you know. Maybe Dante. The Zurich is coming up this weekend, which is a team event now. It's been a team event for the past few years, and it is duos. And I love so there's no Scheffler.
Wait, what is it?
It's duos. So that people partnered up. So how it works,
Are they playing
I
a
don't know how it
scramble?
works. It's almost a
Yeah.
scramble.
Duos.
Straight up scramble would be you take best shot. The way it works for the Zurich is it's groups of two. They alternate on the holes of who tees off and who finishes the hole. So every other hole. So during round one,
How's
one
that
person.
almost a scramble, Ryan? That's not even really close.
Yeah,
Well,
that's not
I
particularly
mean,
close to the
well, like
scramble.
you still stay a scramble as you're playing each other's shots.
I mean, I guess,
No.
but when everybody thinks of a scramble, you're playing the best shot and they're both taking the shot.
Yes, okay, that's fair. But so they alternate for rounds 1 and 2. I don't know how they do 3 or 4. But I like Will Zalatoris and Zahith Thagala. I wouldn't picture them as a group of two. Their
That's
What are
third
some
best
of the other
odds.
groups?
So best odds is Cantlay and Schauffele. They won in 2019, I think. At plus
no can't
325.
play.
Yes, no Cantlay. So they're auto out. I do like Schauffele, but no Cantlay. The second best odds is Shane Lowry and Rory McIlroy. I mean, just
Oh my
shoot
god,
that duo
no.
into the sun. I mean,
Yeah,
Tubby and the
they
whiny
euthanized that
bitch.
duo.
My god.
so I do like the
Wait,
next.
how many rounds is it? How many rounds is
It's
it?
4 rounds. It's 4 rounds.
Oh yeah, never mind. Shane Lowry's completely falling off by round 4 like he always does, and Rory
Um,
McIlroy's just gonna whine the whole time.
there's some cool brother duos out there. So the other two that I like are so Zalatoris and Thigala are plus 650. Morikawa and Kitayama are plus 800. I like those two.
I like that.
Then
That's a fun
we
one.
have the Hogard brothers, which I don't think so. There's Neil Hogard or Nicholas, whatever his name is. I don't think his brother's too good, so I'm worried about that one. And then same thing, Matthew Fitzpatrick and his brother. I don't even know who his brother is up there as well.
I would assume
But
his name is
those top four are like the
Yeah.
only good ones. So I'm gonna take Zalatoris Thigala and Morikawa Kitayama as my
What are
choice.
some of the other ones just for shits?
So sixth best odds is Nick Taylor and Adam Hadwin.
Ew.
McNeely and
Oh.
Hoge. Like, there's not a lot of good golfers here. Pendrith, Connors, Straka, Garnett. One that's sneaky. Plus 2,500 is Keith Mitchell and I don't know what his first name is. Is it? It's Dahmen. Starts with a J. I don't know. I forget what his first name is.
Wait, Keith Mitchell and Joel Dahman are that low?
Yes, Joel. Yes, I like them at plus 2,500.
I love that. I might put a couple bucks on that. That's a good group.
Mhm. Uh, that's really it. Ra and Lipsky at plus 5,000 is kind of interesting because some of these like low end groups sometimes pull away with this. Like, um, there hasn't been so many big name winners, I think, since it was Cantlay and Schauffele like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, I'm going. My mortal lock is Dahman and Mitchell for no other reason than Dahman is just him. He's just fun. Joel Dahman is just so fun.
But that really wraps it up for golf chat. Any other mortal locks, band people?
Um, go Cats.
Is it 0-0?
It's 1-0.
Bang!
Was not a good challenge.
Yeah, the Lightning
Oh, so
challenge.
are they on the PP?
They were. They did not score on it.
All right. So any last comments before we wrap up?
Just stay twisted, baby.
All right, we'll see y'all next time.